Hello everyone. We'll be starting with the session now. यहाँ पर और भी colleges के students हैं. Like पूरी Delhi University से we have students right now, and from different colleges as well. So most of you don't have the idea of what Study Sage is about, and you must be wondering what this platform is all about and why we are here today. So basically, it's a platform which bridges the gap between school and college going students. Like beyond notes and PYQs and important questions, you get everything here on a website. We have even shared the link of the website on the description, and you must have seen it. Beyond this, we also go in blogs. We also have made very much exclusive talks wherein we call different speakers. And we have also taken webinars and seminars wherein we focus the crucial skills that college going students need beyond academics. And now, this session that we are starting a new series that is beyond basics, wherein you'll get something more deeper, and you'll just get things from basics to beyond. So now we'll be starting with the session, and I request Krishna to take over.
So today we have Rachit Gupta as our guest speaker. Rachit is currently pursuing his bachelor's in economics from Hindu College. Rachit has done a lot of case competition and excelled a lot of them. Now I would like to invite Rachit to add on to his journey and what he has done so far. Rachit.
First of all, I'll thank Study Sage for giving me this opportunity. Even throughout my second semester, I was also involved in something of this mentor-mentee platform, which didn't work out for me. So I really appreciate that you guys are helping students, specifically juniors who have just got admitted into DU. So yeah, so I was also one of those shy student who did not know कि क्या हो रहा है ड्यू में वाई एवरीवन इज एक्सेलिंग मोर देन मी सबको सब कुछ आता है वाई I am still behind. Meko, I cannot study on academics. I cannot study on case comps. I cannot do internships. So मेरे साथ यही हुआ था. So I started my second semester, focusing on these things particularly. So I'll say ki first of all, this is my very general advice to everyone that reach out to your seniors, any possible seniors that you think is approachable enough. So reach out to them. They're very very kind and they'll help you for sure, and they'll guide you through everything that you want. Be even in surviving in college with all of those excellent kids. So uh, I'll start with explaining since maximum of the DM that I get is that how to do a case com, how to win a case com. So I'll consider that everyone present here do not know what is case com and why to do it. So I'll start from the very basic and scratch. Okay, so I'll share my screen. I'll first tell you what case comp is. So case competition is a form of competition that basically in which you register, then you get a problem statement that is most particularly from a corporate setting. It might be related to a industry, it might be related to a particular company, and then they require you to present a solution to solve the problem while also analyzing the feasibility of the solution that you have given. जिसका मतलब I'll explain in very simple words कि एक प्रॉब्लम है कंपनी को, यू गिव अ सॉल्यूशन एंड ऑल्सो एक्सप्लेन देम कि अगर आप ये सॉल्यूशन इम्प्लीमेंट करते हो तो विल इट वर्क आउट, बहुत सिंपल केस में. नाउ द सेकंड क्वेश्चन, व्हाई टू डू अ केस कॉम. इसका रीजन might differ from person to person. My reason was simply that I believe कि case comps give you a incentive to read on things जो कि तुम usually नहीं पढ़ोगे, and b it will give it, and case comps are something that gives you a comprehensive exposure what you is supposed to give you. It gives you team playerness. You get to work on different teams. Throughout my time I've worked with Krishna, I've worked with Harshit Bhaiya, Yukta. I've worked with different people from different colleges of DU, and it tells you, you as you work on case comms, you also get to work on PPTs, बहुत सारी PPTs. तो PPTs बनानी आएंगी, you will get to learn बहुत सारी चीजें about a particular company. Maybe तुम बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ अगर niche case com कर रहे हो, जैसे for example the one I did with Krishna at SRCC involved something about deep fake technology, which अगर मैं competition में जाता I would not have read over it. Simple. ओके, तो आई विल एक्सप्लेन कि अब ये सब होता कहाँ पे है. Okay, so I hope everyone can see my screen. So this is an app called Unstop. You can download this over your phone. या फिर इसको बस गूगल पे unstop.com सर्च कर सकते हो. Then you have to log in and यहाँ पे you go to compete and find competitions. Yeah. या दिस इज एज सिंपल एज दिस. तो यहाँ पे एज यू स्क्रॉल डाउन, यहाँ पे बहुत सारे कंपटीशन आएंगे. एंड देखो, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल यहाँ पे लिखा होएगा दिस इज अ केस कंपटीशन ऑफ आई एम रायपुर. आप यहाँ पे रजिस्टर कर सकते हो. 1 से 3 लोग इसमें रजिस्टर कर सकते हैं. एंड 15 दिन बचे हैं. एंड इट ऑल्सो एक्सप्लेन्स की क्या क्या होगा. फर्स्ट राउंड दैट विल बी हेल्ड ऑन इस डेट पे क्विज होगी. देन सेकेंड राउंड में केस आएगा. यू हैव टू सबमिट अ पीपीटी. देन प्रेजेंटेशन होगी. मतलब इतना ही सिंपल होता है. एंड या दैट्स इट. Now I'll explain ki how to approach a case that is given to you. So I'll take example of the recent case competition I've done. That was of IIM Bangalore. So I'll share my screen. Yeah. So this was the okay. So before starting this, I'll like to ask audience कि raise your hand अगर आपने कभी भी किसी भी फॉर्म ऑफ कंपटीशन में पार्टिसिपेट किया है. केस कॉम, बिजनेस प्लान, इवन डिबेटिंग, एनी फॉर्म ऑफ कंपटीशन. ओके. तो would any one of you would like to tell कि what problems did you face, या फिर is there any specification that would want me to tell you कि क्या दिक्कत आती है तुम्हें.
Anyone who would like to speak, like you could raise a hand and I'll give you the ability to unmute. Anyone?
Okay, never mind. I'll irrespect. Yeah.
Anushka. Yeah, go ahead, Anushka.
Yeah, so the primary question that I have is where to do the research from. Because when you participate in competitions, you have to have knowledge about whatever you are pitching, and
Mm-hmm.
whatever you say has to be credible.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are the go to sources for
Good.
research for?
ठीक है. I'll take this question up. Whenever after that I'll explain. ठीक है. Cool. So I'll start with considering this as example. So this was the case that I received in IIM Bangalore. So this basically talks about that there's a theater sort of thing in Pune, and they're facing lack of footfall, and therefore lack of revenue. Simple case. ठीक है. Now what a case comp is कि देखो, this is what I told you. अब there's 3 or 4 paras, तो इसके अंदर there are very small information that can be leveraged to make a winning solution. So for example, um, it says कि the theater name was Ravindra Natya Bhavan. It says decline in footfall and interest over a past decade. So why only the interest was lost over the past decade? That could be the reason of the short attention span that was caused by the increasing social media. So basically people are more present on social media than if we do offline marketing उतने लोग नहीं देखेंगे, but if we do online marketing लोग जरूर देखेंगे क्योंकि they are more in online settings. ठीक है. Then one of the very important thing that जो जिससे हमारा actually solution winning हुआ था personally हमारा was this line कि make optimal use of the existing infrastructure. So this line although हमें बहुत कुछ खास नहीं बताती, but इससे हमें बहुत important चीज़ पता चली थी कि इसमें लॉजिस्टिक प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व नहीं करनी है. बेसिकली हम ऐसा नहीं कर सकते कि सीट अपडेट कर दिया एंड वॉइस लाइक जो ऑडियो सिस्टम होता है वो अपडेट कर दिया. जो है एग्जिस्टिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर उसी का यूज करना. वी कैन नॉट इन्वेस्ट ऑन कैपिटल. सिंपल. ठीक है. नाउ माई वे टू डू इज बहुत सिंपल. आई विल से कि whenever you are you know solving a case, so there's something called case books. बहुत सारे इंस्टीट्यूशन पब्लिश करते हैं. इवन द कंसल्टिंग सोसाइटी ऑफ योर ओन कॉलेज विल डू दैट. बट the credibility are most in the ones, for example, IIMs. So there's this thing that I referred to. I'll share that. This I'll explain कि मैंने कैसे किया. Right. So this is a very basic framework which says कि why is uh, uh, revenue declining. Okay, so there can be two reasons for that. Since revenue, so why is profit declining? So profit is revenue minus cost, right? So the reason might be that your revenues is decreasing, or the reason might be that your cost is increasing for the decreasing profit. uh, I believe. Okay. Yeah. But I presented the case अभी ना, तो उसके अंदर there was explicitly mentioned कि जो profit decrease हुआ है due to the reason of decreasing footfall, which is the जिसका reason ये है क्योंकि वो लोग इतने अच्छे shows नहीं दिखाते, या फिर the time, the frequency of shows is very less. तो basically it's a circular chain. वो shows कम दिखाते हैं क्योंकि लोग नहीं आते क्योंकि shows कम दिखाते हैं. सो हमारा सॉल्यूशन एक्चुअली वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट यहाँ पे कि रेवेन्यू में दिक्कत आ रही है इन द वॉल्यूम ऑफ पीपल, वॉल्यूम ऑफ द रेवेन्यू का जो स्ट्रीम फ्रॉम पीपल इज डिक्रीजिंग. सो दिस इज वेरी बेसिक ऐसे ग्राफ. ये तुम्हें आई विल शेयर दिस. आई हैव अ फ्यू ड्राइव लिंक्स दैट माइट बी हेल्पफुल टू यू. तो फॉर अस revenue decrease was the revenue decrease was the reason for decreasing profit, and particularly the reason was decrease in footfall. Very simple. Okay. Now now the question that Anushka asked कि research कैसे करें. So I'll say कि see research, for example, this case was very specific to the demography, geography of Pune. हम बहुत specific बातें करते हैं when we do case comps. So I'll say कि research is a process जिसके अंदर you have to go to Google. There's a thing called Google Scholars. तो Google Scholars पे जाके you can write the topic. उसमें बहुत सारे papers आते हैं. You need not read over papers. Use AI. AI in a form to save your time, to improve efficiency, to get to the conclusions of the paper. So basically case comps, and even in my personal opinion, consultancy as a domain is nothing but taking help from internet and putting your solution in a creative way and then presenting to the clients. And same goes for competitions. Same way hota hai, every solution is present on internet. Usko bas creatively you have to present to the judges. So now I'll directly show कि हमारी पीपीटी कैसी थी. किसी को मीनवाइल अभी तक जो मैंने बोला उसमें कुछ क्वेश्चंस?
Guys, you can raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Alright, we can move ahead, Rachit.
Right. So this was the since देखो अब बहुत फर्क पड़ती है. Now some of you might say कि this is not very professional. So actually the competition was of the dramatic society of IIM Bangalore. Therefore उन्होंने they said कि you can go beyond your creative liberties and make something that is very out of the box. That's why this unprofessional I'll say setting. So yeah, so the first now many people ask me कि let's say हमारे पास solution है and people ask us for a 5 slider presentation. What is your approach to divide those 5 slides? So see, first slide is nothing but जो चीज केस में है उसको तुम समझाओ. See, this is a Bangalore ka competition, therefore this is very detailed and there are many things except for only the problem statement. But generally the first slide is maximum in the case it's industry analysis जिसमें you explain कि industry के अंदर values क्या है, and these only are used when you do financials. So one of the very important aspect of a case competition is that you make the financial feasibility of the solution that you are presenting. ठीक है. सो दिस इज द इंडस्ट्री एनालिसिस जिसमें बेसिकली वैल्यूज लिखी होती है अबाउट वेरियस पैरामीटर्स जो कि इंडस्ट्री में है. नाउ जो ये वाला पार्ट इज नथिंग बट व्हाट वाज मेंशन्ड इन द केस. उसको बस मे बी मोर इफ क्रिएटिव वे से लिखा गया है. नाउ आवर सॉल्यूशन प्रेजेंटेड कि वी कैन डू अ थीम्ड restructure of the entire theater. So we did ki Ravindra Natya Bhavan is R, N and D. So we do it retro and bougie. Okay, this was our solution. Every solution is different, and my way to go about it is कि जो भी तुम team बनाओ has to be very comprehensive in a form कि one person, for example, I am relatively good at making PPTs than providing solution. I'm more good at creativity than doing numbers, but someone in my team was very good at numbers. So this, and someone is my team is very creative with names. Just say for example, retro and bougie was given by one person, this logo was designed by me, and these numbers were given by the third person. So for example, this team complements everyone. Okay. Now we restructure the brand name retro and bougie. This was for only 1 year. ठीक है. Then we explain कि हमने rebranding करी भी क्यों है. Then this is first slide is very basic, उसमें कुछ भी important नहीं होता. That's why even at the time of presentation you only put like 30 to 40 seconds on the first slide, because वो सब कोई same बात बोलता है. So this is demographic is Pune. Now see, this is what said हम actually हमें काफी help करा था, is the consumer analysis, the way we did it. People were judges were very happy ki how we distributed consumer persona over using Bollywood stars. These three are from K3G. तो उसके अंदर भी एक्सप्लोर की हाउ जेनजीज आर गिवन बाय ऋतिक रोशन. उनकी नीड्स क्या है, व्हाट आर द पेन पॉइंट्स, उनको अगर हमें अट्रैक्ट करना है टू द थिएटर, व्हाट डू वी नीड टू डू ताकि वो आए. सो दिस इज द बेसिक थिंग नाउ. ठीक है. नाउ you can also look ki how we have done this, even headings, a stage in despair. This all is very dramatic. हर चीज में drama है, because that's what the competition wanted us to do. Now this is how we'll do marketing. We said कि we do hoardings and billboards, but ये बहुत generic है. We explained कि हम कहाँ पे लगाएंगे. This JM Road and FC Road, they're both in Pune and they're very high visibility road. बहुत जाम रहता है, तो लोग यहाँ पे लगाएंगे, प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करेंगे. दिस इज अ मास्कॉट जो हमने बनाया. एंड उस टाइम पे जस्ट डिस्ट्रिक्ट बाय जोमेटो आया ही आया था, मतलब इट वाज जस्ट इंट्रोड्यूस्ड. तो case competition also checks how active you are in case of knowledge as to what is happening. Then we do social media marketing. This may, for example, you must have seen this guy Shehzan Khan. तो इसका headquarters और मतलब basically he is based out of Pune. So we said he will call him and Yash Raj Mukhate, if you heard of it. And there's like things like So Pune, So Delhi, you have heard of it. So yeah. So and these are the numbers crunching. तो इसमें हमने बताया कि how we have taken कि YouTube पे इतने followers हैं हमारे या फिर So Delhi के, and overlapping rate कितना है, addressable people कितने हैं. Then we do just basic maths कि हम 200 लोगों हम almost 25,000 लोगों का ट्रैक कर लेंगे. And if we charge 200 from every person, this will be our revenue just from social media. Then we created this loyalty program. So these all things ना इतना कुछ वो नहीं रहता है. It's mostly AI. I'll be very honest. These all things can be taken from AI, but you have to be very थोड़ा सा smart how to use AI. For me, I prefer using Claude. There's a AI called Claude. He's very good with numbers, creativity, and stuff. Uh, this was again, I believe this is a very cluttered slide, but still, इसमें भी I explain कि हम theater film collaboration करेंगे, fashion and design collaboration, because again, this is a very important thing. Yeah, see here, either I hope you can guys see can see the case.
Yep,
Yeah.
visible.
Yes.
See, this the highlighted point mentioned that Pune has numerous educational institutions, and every educational institution has a fashion society. So we proposed that we'll call those fashion societies to do fashion walks and exhibitions, and call like educational institution को हम leverage करेंगे to increase footfall. This मतलब हर छोटी से छोटी चीज को you can leverage. जैसे यहाँ पे लिखा होता कि पुणे has a rich cultural heritage. आगे जाके I'll explain, I'll show कि हमने कैसे उसको भी include किया है. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स जो कि हमने इसमें इंक्लूड करी थी. जैसे कल्चरल हेरिटेज में देखो डांसथॉन थी. पुणे हैज अ वेरी हैज अ, देखो यहाँ पे लिखा था पुणे इज कॉल्ड द ऑक्सफोर्ड ऑफ द ईस्ट एंड स्टफ. वी क्योंकि अब यू ऑल्सो नो कि पुणे में कॉर्पोरेट्स है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे कहीं मेंशन था कि पुणे हैज मेनी वो पीपल, वर्किंग क्लास पीपल वर्किंग इन कॉर्पोरेट, सो दे नीड अ वीकेंड ऑफ. ऐसा लिखा नहीं होता. दिस इज आवर असम्पशन कि दे नीड अ वीकेंड ऑफ. तो कॉर्पोरेट रेंटिंग फॉर एग्जांपल, there's a startup, उसको अपनी smart ring launch करनी है. What else if you have a stage in Rabindranath Bhavan? We explored how we'll conduct auctions, high profile speakers, online speaking event. These are some government partnership, because again, if we are targeting culture, so government of culture, Ministry of Tourism, there's like this is a municipal corporation of Pune and stuff. So this is what we mentioned. Now this is also a thing that one of the very my team members suggested, that we should make, the competition was held in September, so she said he will make a tentative schedule for September. Our pitch was on the 1st of September. Therefore she suggested कि we should make how we will actually do this. कि देखो उसने actual बनाया था अपने calendar पे कि on the 1st of September will re-release मुन्ना लगे रहो मुन्ना भाई, which also has a इम्पोर्टेंट कि उसी दिन एक्चुअली मूवी रिलीज हुई थी. दीज ऑल थिंग, छोटी छोटी थिंग एड टू द प्रेजेंटेशन टाइम. हमने ये एक्सप्लेन किया था, द जजेस वर वेरी हैप्पी कि हमने काफी चीजें इंक्लूड करी. देन अगेन पुणे मतलब महाराष्ट्र इन जनरल हैज अ थिंग विद गणेश चतुर्थी. So देखो 7 से लेकर we'll start with Ganesh tales, because again as we read on demographics of Pune, we saw that कि there are many older people जिनको basically ये सब ज़्यादा पसंद है, something religious, something more theatrical, right? So these were the themes जो हमने बनाई थी about every month. uh, I'll move the slide. Yeah, rockstar release and stuff. मतलब ये सब basically it's all about creativity. मतलब this is what I think कि case comes are all about creativity. Now comes the most important yet सबसे मुश्किल part जो मुझे तो लगता है is about uh, finance, financial statements कि कैसे होगा. So this is just the conclusions. I'll take you to the appendix जिसमें हमने explain किया था कि हो कैसे रहा है. So we again I agree, even मुझे भी नहीं आता था, and so do जो मेरी teammates थे उनको भी नहीं आता था. We took help of AI. We said कि what all things should we consider. कि corporate rentals अगर हमने 36 लाख लिया है तो हम शायद भूल जाते हैं कि 36 corporate rentals से हम rent ले रहे हैं. And assumption you have to state. जैसे for example we have stated कि how to remove this. Wait, yeah, कि corporate rentals हम 2024 में 60 days रेंट करेंगे. मतलब सॉरी वी विल व्हाट डज दिस मीन 60,000 लेंगे एंड विल रेंट 10 days per year. So that's why the value. And again slide, yeah, that's why 36. And again ये बढ़ कैसे रहा है is the same thing that I explained. This is the CAGR जो first slide पे था. uh, yeah, so this 5.9 was CAGR, is it compound annual growth rate. So इससे लगा के इट्स एक्सेल पे यू डोंट हैव टू डू कैलकुलेशन, एक्सेल खुद कर देगा. तो यू जस्ट हैव टू एक्सप्लेन कि हम क्या हो रहा है. एंड फाइनली हमारी देखो इनकम करोड्स में आ रही है. दीज वर नॉन प्लॉजिबल नंबर्स, बट अगेन अगर तुम एक्सप्लेन कर पाते हो, जस्ट जस्टिफाई कर पाते हो व्हाट आर योर अजम्पशन, दे हैव टू बी वेरी रैशनल. मतलब तुम ऐसा नहीं ले सकते कि वी विल आस्क अ कॉर्पोरेट टू गिव अस 2 लाख रुपी पर अ रेंटल. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. तो यू हैव टू टेक रैशनल अजम्पशंस and उससे you make up financial models. I'll say take help of AI. And yeah, so this is what CaseComp is. So I'm open to any doubts अगर किसी को कुछ और specification चाहिए तो.
Guys, you may raise a hand in case you have a doubt.
Cool. I think that's all. I'll post all the required resources that might help you in case competition in the group itself. And yeah.
So Rachit, like
Rachit,
adding on to it, like we had a few questions from our side, like the organizing team itself. So first of all, like I would really like you to mention one of the biggest motivators for case competitions that I believe you failed to like include. That is the money part. So could you like please
Right.
elaborate?
Okay. So as I started, I wasn't really interested in money because again मुझे लगता नहीं था मैं कभी जीत पाऊंगा. But the time that I won my first competition and I got my first 2,000 rupees in cash in hand, I was very motivated to do more competition, and even registered for like 5 or 6 competition at a time to earn more money and make it like a business sort of thing for me. Like me and Krishna particularly are very much into these case comps and business plans for particularly money now. But although in our first year we were more towards learning. But as we have डेवलप्ड, सो अब हमारा लर्निंग स्टीप इतना लर्निंग ग्राफ इतना स्टीप नहीं है, बट या मनी वाला ग्राफ इज रियली स्टीप अभी.
Yep. So that's like really reinforcing to know कि मैं अकेला यहाँ पे लालची नहीं हूँ.
No, but I agree कि money is a very great motivation. मतलब although money आती नहीं है, I've still not received my Bangalore का money आज तक, and it's been काफी time, and I've lost all hopes. तो हाँ ठीक है.
Also, like Rachit, another thing like I really want you to like tell all the people here about is जैसे जब I started out with case competitions, so I had a like long streak की continuously जीत रहे हैं, but before that long streak came, like I lost 3 competitions like continuously, my first 3 comps, and I was really discouraged, and it was like only for like one of my friends that kept pushing me कि यार और करते हैं जीतेंगे. So like what was like that motivator for you कि यार हार गए, इतना मूड खराब है, पूरा दिन वेस्ट हो गया, but let's you know what, let's try again.
Okay. So again, honestly, for me that was FOMO. मतलब I felt कि यार everyone ठीक है, I am not winning, but still someone in my class, someone of my known is at least winning, तो उसने भी कहीं तक पहुंचा होगा वो. So I actually asked one of my classmates who's very good at this. He actually just when we just entered college in the first week of college itself, he won one. तो I was very like curious. तो मैंने उसी से पूछा, and he said कि you can develop over time, and तब तक you have to do this. मतलब थोड़ा सा discouragement आता है, but this is the first year is for trial and error. तो I'll say कि first year and even second year, I'll say पूरा college ही do trial and errors हर चीज में, from case competition, business plans, data analytics competition, trying out the business venture that you have in mind. तो हर चीज कर लो इन फर्स्ट ईयर. तो फर्स्ट ईयर में अभी तुम्हारे पास टाइम है, उसके बाद यू विल फील कंस्ट्रेंटेड बाय अदर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज एज वेल. तो yeah, so first year में तो it's all about trial. तो this was my motivation कि I felt कि the time will go अगर मैंने अभी try नहीं किया.
Yukta, I think you wanted to ask something.
Yeah, adding on to what should be actually asked, the when students start this case competition, they actually have failure in front of them because in the starting, whatever PDF and PPT that you showed right now, that's a quite high level PPT, and you also emphasize the use of AI. So, like when someone is actually starting from the base, how he or she should go about that using AI and like making PPTs from the scratch, and secondly, how can they improve when they see like everyone in the whole area and the whole room is winning in front of them, so how can they learn and improve from that position?
Right. So I'll say कि this is what I did. So that might be very subjective to me, but I started with case competition from, I'll say, tier 3 colleges, then went to tier 2, then tier 1, and then finally Bangalore. So one of my very first competition was at Shama Prasad Mukherjee College in Delhi University. Many of you might not have even heard of the name because how secluded that is. I believe that was in पंजाबी बाग, that was very दूर. ठीक है. तो I started उधर से. ठीक है. तो उधर सी जब तुम you go to a tier 3 college, तो उधर tier 1 competitors नहीं मिलेंगे, so you will have a higher chance to go to the final presentation, because maximum cases में ये भी हो सकता है, if you go to a higher level competition starting में ही तुम पीपीटी बनाओ मेहनत करके, but they are obviously 10 times better पीपीटी than you, जो अच्छे प्लेयर्स है, and you will not get a chance to even present. So that's why go to for competition that are smaller in scale, that you have a chance to go to finals. Now let's say go to finals, there are obviously again 3 more teams that are better than you. So instead of thinking कि they are better than me and we should अब आगे नहीं करना है, network उनके साथ, talk to them. This was what I did. SRCC में I met someone जिसके साथ I did the Bangalore case. तो SRCC में we did not win, me and Krishna, but the other person I think stood third. तो we actually talk कि हमें नहीं आता है, so be very genuine to you. अपने से तो झूठ मत बोलना, नहीं आता है तो be very real कि नहीं आता है, and but you learn over time. So go to छोटे competitions, learn, watch how others are winning. For example, the first time I joined, मुझे नहीं पता था SWOT analysis से ज़्यादा बड़ा कुछ हो सकता है, but the winner did something called pestle analysis. So I was very curious हो क्या रहा है. तो I asked pestle analysis क्या होता है. He told me. अगले कंपटीशन में गया, द विनर डिड पोर्टर 5 forces analysis. So this is how I think you should learn by doing, learn by seeing other what are they doing, and same goes for everything. If not competitions, same goes for academics, same goes for internships. Learn from seniors, learn from people that are excelling than you and are hopefully more helpful to you. And yeah, and what was the other question, Yukta?
Like, as you said and mentioned that you use AI heavily in the PPTs. So someone who is starting, like the major and common tools that they know right now is ChatGPT or
Mhm.
maybe Gemini. So how these tools are different, and how should someone go about them in the
Right.
starting?
Okay. To answer that, so AI का use करो, but इतना नहीं, because at least start at least starting के 5 competition, don't use AI, because that will a limit your thinking capability and you'll not brainstorm the ideas. ठीक है? And again, there's a thing I showed that is called a case book. I agree कि IIM की case books might be too difficult to even read, तो start with something that is in your college. हर college में there's a consultant society, उनका एक केस बुक रिलीज होता है, स्टार्ट रीडिंग ओवर दैट, एंड उसके अंदर you will find a very, I'll say, humbling solution. इतना मुश्किल नहीं होता. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, द आई एम बैंगलोर वाला, उसके अंदर द प्रॉब्लम इतनी बड़ी लिखी हुई थी, बट वी कैन फाइनली से फुटफॉल नहीं था, जिसकी वजह से रेवेन्यू नहीं था, जिसकी वजह से प्रॉफिट नहीं था. वेरी सिंपल. अगर हम उसको बहुत छोटा करें, तो दैट इज समथिंग दैट केस बुक विल टीच यू. केस बुक के अंदर बहुत बेसिक से शुरू होता है, दैट विल एक्सप्लेन कि हो क्या रहा है, एंड एज यू रीड ओवर दैट, तो यू विल ऑल्सो डेवलप अ राशनल कि कैसे सोचना है. सो दिस इज माई वे ऑफ डूइंग इट, एंड डू नॉट यूज ए आई until your fifth competition, ताकि एटलीस्ट यू हैव अपना दिमाग इस्तेमाल करो मे बी, एंड दैट विल बी मोर गुड टू यू. जो लोग ए आई इस्तेमाल करे, दैट्स गुड, but AI might even not tell you the reasoning of the same, and same चीज presentation में होगी. The judge will ask you ये कैसे हुआ, and you'll not able to answer that. So yeah, that's my rationale.
All right, moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Krishna, you have something.
uh, Rachit, like we have gone to various case competition, and I've seen कि there are many teams who participate to every competition, but they didn't win. So
Mm-hmm.
the major reason behind it is, according to me or you, is like team. They didn't have a good team.
Huh.
So, but according to you, the major skills each team should have at least
Mm-hmm.
to win a case competition.
Right. So I'll take example of a 4% team. So out of four, 1% should be very good at PPTs and colors. क्योंकि again, solution कितना ही अच्छा, if you cannot present it in a very good form, very creative form, very presentable form, तो it's फायदेमंद नहीं है. You'll do just काम ही काम, और कुछ फायदा नहीं होगा. Then the second person might be very good at literature review and reading more and more stuff. Someone that is more curious about things, maybe relatively more than you. For example, in our case, I wasn't able to read Zada, but one of my very friend was very involved in reading papers, even long papers such as 16 pages and 17 pages. So second person might have that. Then the third person can have something of a knowledge of Excel and data analysis that might able to help you. And fourth person can be more like a multiplayer and that can handle team, because at times of a case competition the deadlines are very close. तो there might be बहुत सारे disputes over time कि ये वाली slide इसको दी थी, अभी तक बनी क्यों नहीं है. So there must be one person who can handle everyone at times of disputes. This is my ideal team. Although सबकी अलग हो सकती है.
So I'll just like to like add on a bit to what Rachit just said. Like one of
Mhm.
the most common mistakes I see people making in college is like we obviously want to stay within our friend circle. कि हम सबके ऐसे 5-6 दोस्त होते हैं कॉलेज में एंड वी वांट कि हर चीज़ हम इनके ही साथ करें. For example, that's what I did in my first year. I had two of my friends, like within my friend circle, I decided I will do case competitions with them. But that is a major problem I feel, because it's not necessary that you find all the relevant skills, as Rachit just mentioned here, like within your friend circle. So it's like important to realize that okay, this team isn't really working for me, and sometimes it's like the hard decision that you need to make. For example, that's what I ended up doing. I finally said that you know what, like the people in my friend circle, all of us have similar set of skills. Like that's why we became friends, since we had similar like thoughts and like ideas. So I finally decided that you know what, like, screw this. I'll just go out and I'll make a team with some other people that I don't really know that well. So this is one of the things that I feel is very important and a common mistake that most people make.
हाँ, मतलब totally agreed. I think opening, like being open to everything in your at least first year is something that is very important. अगर you'll constrain yourself कि नहीं, I have 3 or more friends and इन्हीं के साथ I'll say कि go to, as you go on competition, there's one thing called networking, which for me is just talking to people about anything they have done and how they can help you and how you can help them, and in mutual helps you can learn more. So it's not about just winning, it's about the process for me. So I think be more open to everyone and make हर टाइम अलग टीम, मे बी टॉक टू पीपल ऑन व्हाट्सएप, लिंक्डइन, ऑफलाइन नए नए कॉलेजेस के साथ अपने नेटवर्क बढ़ाओ, एंड आई थिंक दैट्स अ वेरी ग्रेट वे टू स्टार्ट विद केस कॉम्पिटिशंस.
So like apart from case competitions, Rachit, like another thing that I felt was very impressive in your profile was your internships. Like I can't really like, list all of them right now, but from like the top of my head, like I remember you interned at Noise, you interned at Ficky, and as of now, like you're even selected for the vice chancellor's internship. So like,
Right.
could you like just elaborate like the entire procedure, like, and what are the things that you were able to learn from those internships?
Okay. So I'll start with one of my very favorite internship that was at Noise. So Noise ka procedure started with just cold mailing. So cold mailing is a process by which you send a mail that you do not expect a reply of. So I was in second semester and I started approaching my seniors to explain me what is a CV. I wasn't very aware कि CV क्या होता है. So throughout my January and February, I made a killer CV. Maybe not a killer, just इतना कि I can send it everywhere. And CV में सबसे basic thing which I think everyone does not इतना ध्यान नहीं देते is formatting. बहुत simple चीज होती है कि heading का size is consistent throughout, and font का size is font is same and stuff. So make a CV, and then the cold mailing process starts with making again a professional email. Then you go to LinkedIn and you scrape email off using some extension that Chrome provides, and then maybe you can draft a very short mail. Matlab, this is one of the advice that was given to me by my very senior who is currently in IIM. So he was very good कि you do not have to make a very long mail and explain कि please मुझे ले लो internship के लिए, and these are my skills and stuff. You just have to say कि this is what I've learned throughout my like past month or maybe a past stint, and this is what I can help you with, and this is all. मतलब your cold mail should not exceed personally 120 words. So you just send like 100 mails and you get a reply from one, and yeah, that's how you get an internship. But again, the process of Noise was a relatively big company than Fiki and stuff. So Noise involved processes like 4 or 5 interviews. So my work was in Noise was working on a smart ring. So same was the interview that revolved around. So interviews question was more generally towards what I have done. And yeah, one of the most important thing that I'll like to say is ki the societies that you're in will play a very major role, at least in getting your internship. I'm not sure if they'll help you in placement and stuff, but for internships your societies will help you बहुत ज़्यादा, because I am a part of the Enactus of my college, and my Noise interviews interestingly revolved around for 40 minutes of what is my contribution to my Enactus and what am I planning to do. मतलब they were more involved कि am I can I see the future. So yeah, this was my work at Noise. So my work, okay, now I explain कि मैंने Noise में करा क्या. So मेरा काम was more towards there was a smart ring that costed 20,000, and more generally we know कि Noise जो watches and stuff बनाता है generally for people like us जो 5 cases ज़्यादा ऊपर होती नहीं है, and 5 cases ज़्यादा ऊपर होगी तो हम नहीं खरीदेंगे. So considering Noise has make us something that is 20,000 has a different target market for them. So I was involved in the growth of that and developing the business. For example, I was asked कि I have to first ideate, do the competitor analysis कि स्मार्ट रिंग में इंडिया में कौन कौन डील कर रहा है. I did that, search engine optimization and stuff. And then I was asked कि how can we develop noise का smart ring का business to Indian and overseas. So one of my very suggestion was that कि since, well, I am from Delhi and the internship was in Gurgaon, so the throughout the time I traveled to it, I used to see there's a thing called DLF golf course. तो आई रेड ओवर दैट एंड मुझे पता चला कि DLF गोल्फ कोर्स इज नथिंग बट कि वहाँ पे people from very high earning families come to play golf, and there's something called tea time in which the golf course authorities gift their members a gift. ठीक है. Now DLF is a very big name. मतलब DLF की the charge, the what they charge from the people is around 2 lakhs per month. तो आई वॉज वेरी श्योर कि कोई 2 लाख रुपए अगर अपने मेंबर से चार्ज करे, दे विल बी वेरी रेडी टू गिव अस 20K प्रोडक्ट टू देयर मेंबर्स, लाइक वंस इन अ वाइल, मे बी 6 month दिवाली के टाइम पे. तो आई मेल्ड from noise to DLF golf course. I set up a meeting. This first I was again, noise was very decentralized in terms of, as even intern I was allowed to pitch it to someone as big as DLF. So I pitched to DLF ka management of what I wanted from them. I wanted to bulk sale rings to them, and they did agreed. And throughout my stint, I was involved in the process of developing their business to DLF. There's a golf course in Bangalore. There is a golf course in Ahmedabad. So I was able to sell like almost 120 rings during my tenure, which makes it to over 15 lakhs revenue. So they were very happy with my stint, although my stint was very limited to the period of 1.5 months. Yeah, so that was my work at Noise. Then I'll talk about my most dreaded internship, that is FICCI. So I was interning at FICCI. So FICCI is a organization that is autonomously owned by government, I'll say. So FICCI is sort of government corporate. It full form stand for Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce. So there are like 60 or 70 departments in FICCI, and I joined by cold mailing. So I cold mailed the head of the person whose name I got through the website of FICCI, and whose email I got through by scraping his email from LinkedIn. So I emailed her कि I wanted to intern. I wanted to intern with them. I was called for an interview offline, and interview went very basic. मतलब FICCI for me was very unprofessional. If I talk relative to noise, ठीक है. तो my interview went good. They just asked me where do I live, interestingly, and I was hired. And throughout my stint of 1 month, which was more shorter, I believe, I was although I was hired for the term of research intern, but there was no research involved for me. I was asked to do some very menial work and very mediocre work. For example, once I was asked to excel excels a stash of 120 visiting cards. So yeah, that's why I left FICCI. So I do not like to talk about FICCI a lot because that space was very not very good, and I'll not advise any one of you to go to FICCI, or at least the department that I was working in, that was MSME. So yeah, FICCI isn't good. So please, if you are applying, just think about it again. Okay. Then yeah, I think that was my internships. The other that I've done are mostly remote internships, and there was nothing as of learning, I'll say, apart from the fact that I got a certificate, which helped me to get an offline internship. So in online internships, generally, this is the thing I wanted to raise. Since you're तुम सब freshers हो, maximum of you. So I and Krishna B were messaged by something called business development interns, and they are companies which are generally ed techs, and they'll call you and say कि okay, you are a business development intern, and you need to make sales, as in they'll ask you to sell a course of 12,000 rupee to your friend, and for return they will give you 500 maybe max. But it's a thing that you should not do if for learning. So what I and Krishna did was ki we joined for a stint of 1 month. We did not made efforts to sell this because it has none of the हमारा कुछ फायदा नहीं था, सब फायदा सिर्फ उनका था. सो इट्स अ स्कैम इंटर्नशिप. तुम सबके पास ऑप्शन आएगा, बट अगेन वन ऑफ माय वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कंक्लूजन ऑफ द इंटर्नशिप वाज कि दैट internship made me get more internships. So it's a way कि एक जगह से you can start and then वो start हो जाता है. So अगर आ रही है so you might need एक बार सोच लेना if you want to do those scam internships. I did, Krishna did, and it helped, not in terms of learning but getting more internships. So yeah, that was my internship stints. Yeah.
1 second, Dhruv. Yeah, go ahead.
Bhaiya, you also did Ministry of Finance, as I remember. It was mentioned in the picture that
Mhm.
you shared. Could you please
Right.
elaborate about it too?
Okay. So yeah, so Ministry of Finance was a project that I was doing. I am doing. It started in January. So I have a friend at SRCC called Bhavik. He's a president of a consulting society. I do not remember. So he had a project in hand because he had contacts. I actually met Bhavik in a case competition. So this is how networking and case competition work. So me and Bhavik, we became friends. Then Bhavik interestingly called me one day and said, "Ki there's a project that he's getting from someone from Ministry of Finance in which he would like to include me because for he believed that my literature review skills are best and his data analysis skills are best and maybe we can do something." ठीक है, so this is how my Ministry of Finance wala part started. So I was particularly I'm involved in the in the center public sector undertakings. So it's a research project जिसमें I am involved in researching about feasibility of moonlighting in India. So actually it's not something that I should tell. So I'll say कि government wants something for the employees of government to do, and they want us to research if this is possible. I'll explain that and how to get it. Again, go to network. So for example, you go to competition, you go to, even your society is organizing something, judges are rahe hain, so talk to judges ko batao you are interested in this. Even many of the internships I and Krishna went, and जहाँ पे भी हम जीते, इवन नहीं भी जीते, वी वर ऑफर्ड इंटर्नशिप्स बाय जजेस, जो कि हमने नहीं करी बिकॉज अगेन हमें ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट नहीं था. बट ऐसा होता है. सो यू गो टू कॉम्पिटिशन, इफ जजेस लाइक यू गो, even if they don't like you, just go pitch them yourself ki I am Dhruv, I'm starting this and I want to at least उनकी कंपनी के बारे में पढ़ के जाना and why you want to intern with them. And they're very, or फिर you get, this is a sort of referral that you get. So yeah, my Ministry of Finance was this, it was sort of referral कि I networked with a person who was very resourceful in a sense कि उसके पास projects थे. He called me, then we assembled a team of 9 people and we are working on this from January. And actually आज ही we met offline. And yeah, this is a very big project, so it goes till I graduate. It goes like when I'll be passing out. So it's a 3-year project. So yeah, this is Ministry of Finance. Yeah.
If anyone else also have any question, they can raise their hand. You can ask. Anyone?
uh, okay, I'll just talk about one thing. Ki, uh, I have ki, if you want to start with competitions now, you can do one thing. You can make a LinkedIn, because I believe कि सबके पास LinkedIn नहीं होता, and it's a need जो तुम्हें लगेगी, because A, FOMO, B, you want internship, you have to use LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, okay, I'll explain what LinkedIn is. So LinkedIn is an app which is basically professionals का Instagram. So udhar everyone makes a profile, they explain what they have done, and they talk about great things about themselves. And yeah, udhar se you get every opportunity. You, for example, I and the person of Ministry of Finance connected over LinkedIn. हम इंस्टा पे नहीं थे साथ में, हम व्हाट्सएप पे नहीं था, उसका मेरा पास उसका नंबर नहीं था. हमने लिंक्डइन पे एक दूसरे को रिक्वेस्ट भेजी. सो इट्स अ वेरी सिंपल थिंग. तो लिंक्डइन पे यूज करो and approach people if you want to do case competition for, to make a team. For example, you see कि someone has one competition recently, maybe you can approach him कि ठीक है यार मुझे नहीं आता, maybe we can form a team. तो he or she might agrees क्योंकि सब first years हो. Yeah.
Alright, does anyone have any questions, or that's it from our side? Like, we'll be ending if there are no doubts.
Okay. Thank you ऐसे भैया for inviting me. तो I actually very liked it कि the people who want to listen to me, that's very new to me. And yeah, that's it.
Yep. I mean, like, great session as always. Looking forward, like, having you more involved with Study Sage. So thanks a lot,
Yeah.
Rachit, for coming. Thanks a lot, everyone else, for attending the session. Yep, that's
Thank
it
you for
from
giving your
our side.
time.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.